welcome back to Stitch by Stitch series, chapter-wise conversations. I am Sarab Kaur and the co-author of 13 Stitches. Today we are going to decode the fourth stitch, that is the fragmented mind.
I am Sneha, also the co-author of 13 Stitches. And today we are going to be talking about, so Sarab, this is your story, and this is the story that has got so much of love, so much of conversation around Sia and her relationship with her grandparent. So would you want to throw some light for us?
Yeah, before I actually read a para, I want to just slightly talk about it. It's wild how much we all rely on tiny things to feel okay.
Right.
Like for some people, it's a lucky pen. For others, it's a prayer before exams. And even just sitting in a particular spot every day because it feels safe. So Sia, being the character, the protagonist of this particular short story, as a kid, believes everything feels solid, real. And as long as we do this, we feel like things will not fall apart. But when something or someone you believed in suddenly goes away, it hits different. It's not just sadness, it's confusion. Like, was this ever real? Why did I even believe in it? And that's where Sia's story really started. So revolves around, circles around, you could call it. It's an encircling situation.
Right. So do you want to tell us about how it feels when, something that we felt comfort in has been taken away from us suddenly, like something that we believed in, something that something that we feel that is lucky for us, and then we have to stop believing in it or is taken away from us. How do you think that works?
So before I answer that question of yours, I will read a very little para from this fourth stitch of ours. Sia quietly ran into her room and rushed into her bathroom. She stood in front of the bathroom mirror. Her panicky breath was fogging up the mirror. She couldn't see her. As she wiped the condensation away, the blurred reflection slowly transformed. Now, here, what it's trying to say is that she has received some sort of heartbreaking face to situation that she does not know how to deal with. And honestly, it's what she's feeling here. And answer to your question, it's like the ground shifting under you and no one else notices. Like, imagine you've been holding on to this tiny thread, this ritual, this belief, this habit, whatever it is, and it makes you feel safe. Like, if I do this, maybe things will be okay. And then suddenly it stops working or it's gone, and you're left thinking, wait, then what do I hold on to now? The moment, it's quietly heartbreaking because no one prepares you for this kind of loss, and this loss doesn't make any sound.
Specifically at that age, when you're so young and you're having a belief. So whether it's an exam or, whether it's a unit test, or for that matter, even with cricket, people have so many beliefs, like, my God, if I sit on the sofa, wicket gir jayegi.
Correct. So many people have lucky jerseys, lucky numbers.
Yes.
Yeah. So
okay. So another thing that I've been, compelled by our readers to ask is, Sia stop talking about how she, feels. Like, there comes a time where she's feeling a lot of things, but she stops talking and she stops communicating it. So why do you think that happens to kids when they go through something painful? Or I think it happens even with adults for that matter.
Actually, it happens to all of us, to be very honest. But talking about kids, because Sia over here is an 11-year-old kid, like you mentioned. And
she's young.
She's pretty young and she's really trying hard to process a certain news. So kids are way more aware than we give them credit for, to be actually honest. I have my kids and I know how it really feels. Absolutely. And I'm like, they're growing and they feel everything, but they also sense when it's too much for the adults around them. So sometimes they just shut down, not because they don't want to talk, but because they don't want to make anyone else uncomfortable.
That's true.
They're very mindful. Like, say, suppose I'm having a bad day and I know my daughter's going to come and say, Mama, are you okay? She'll give me a bottle of water and she'll try to not tell what's happening with her at school, even if it's a happy thing or a sad thing. She doesn't want to put that burden on me. So it's like, if I stay quiet, maybe no one else will feel bad. That's what they feel. Or worse, what's the point of talking if no one really listens? That's silence.
Correct.
It's like a protection and it's also loneliness in disguise.
Yeah. And that is sort of what sets the personality tone for kids at that age, when they don't get that comfort to talk, especially at home or especially in school, because these are the two places where they're spending the utmost amount of time. And this is the two only comfort zones that they have, or they know of at least. So yeah, it's difficult for kids that way.
Yep.
Well, good chat. Very nice, analogy as to what Sia is facing and why that is happening with her. Because, like we discussed, kids have a very specific, limited space that they can express themselves in.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, I mean, of course, they're kids, so they're going to grow out of it because they have a very fast working brain. They're growing out of it. They're growing every day. They have so much knowledge to grasp on. They have so many things taking place on daily basis that they get too busy with everything to easily maybe forget. But then again, that whole thing circles back to our first stitch that we were talking about, trauma, shaping their identity and everything. So in this particular chapter, we just ended at a very not so happy ending. And like, I think I just want to leave the people listening to this at that. And I would really love it if they can get their hands on the book and read this particular chapter along with the others, of course, because I'm sure, like, as a child, everybody has a child within themselves and they can definitely relate to this one. So guys, please go grab this book, and that's it for today. Thank you.
This book. This is the book.
Yes.
All right. Thank you. And we'll see you again with our next stitch.
All right.